Hey everyone, today we're going to have a look at a few of my must-have Skyrim mods going into 2023. These mods make the game a better experience in my opinion, and are mods I wouldn't want to play without. But as always, let me know what you think down in the comments. Now let's jump right in. Starting with a fun gameplay mod called Skyrim's Paraglider. This mod adds a completely functional paraglider to Skyrim, similar to The Legend of Zelda. To obtain the glider, you initially need to complete a small quest introduced to us by our friend named Fred. Once completed, this mod will transform the game for you. No longer do you have to carefully plan your way down a mountain, now you can simply run and jump with your trusty glider. This mod fits perfectly within the world of Skyrim and feels as if it has always belonged. It not only encourages you to explore and find new places, but it also makes traversing the world of Skyrim so much more enjoyable. I highly recommend to give this mod a go. Next are a couple of mods that expand and overhaul how bounties and miscellaneous quests work in Skyrim. The first is called Headhunter Bounties Redone, which overhauls how bounties operate by adding several new features. Most importantly, you must now get proof that you actually completed the bounty by bringing back a trophy. You can also be a more lawful citizen and choose to bring the bandit leader back to prison instead of killing them. All of this is seamlessly added to each bounty questline, and you will barely notice it comes from a mod. This then goes hand in hand with another mod called the Notice Board, which adds a board to all of the major cities and villages found around Skyrim. That features an endless amount of small side quests for you to enjoy and complete. These include bounties, but also range from simple fetch and return to having to save an NPC from almost certain demise. There is also the chance to interact with mercenaries who can be found reading the notice board and will ask you to tag along on a bounty or other quest. Together, these mods give you so many things to do and experience, you will almost forget about all of the other major quest lines. Up next is a mod known as Spell Perk Item Distributor, or SPID, which doesn't actually do anything by itself, but provides a framework for other mods to give NPCs access to spells, perks, and items that they originally would not have had access to. An example is this Kavichi mercenary armor, usually only worn by the player, but can now be distributed so bandits have a chance to be wearing it as well, thanks to SPID. This is a simple example, but it really starts to get interesting when your enemies start using new spells and perks added by other mods, such as the Apocalypse spell pack. That's when you will really start noticing more variety and having more exciting encounters when playing the game. And in my experience, this makes Skyrim much more fun to play. I will list a few mods that utilize SPID in the description, but I also recommend going to Nexus and searching for the SPID keyword in the search bar. Doing this, you should be able to find a number of mods that use this framework. Next is a mod called Hand-Placed Enemies. In vanilla Skyrim, the dungeons often feel empty or void of enemies for you to face off against. This mod aims to remedy this by placing more throughout the world and inside dungeons. The enemies are placed in areas that make sense to increase immersion and enhance the gameplay experience. For an example, in Bleak Falls Barrow, this corridor would normally not have a single enemy, but now there are a few for you to fight and test your skills against. In total, this mod adds over 1500 new enemies to Skyrim, and inherently does increase the difficulty of the game. There is also an optional ambush version, where the new enemies will try to ambush you, so you will need to be prepared. For people who have played Skyrim many times and already know where all of the enemies spawn, this mod is a great solution for making the game feel fresh, or maybe you simply want to increase the amount of enemies. I will suggest to stay away from forts in the early game, as there can be a significant increase in enemies in these areas. And the next mod aims to improve third-person gameplay called Better Third-Person Selection. Skyrim at its roots was always a first-person game, but recently there has been a massive influx of amazing third-person mods, especially when it comes to combat. This mod continues that trend by adding an intuitive 3D selection display to help interact with items when in third person, which was always a very frustrating experience to say the least. But now, third person Skyrim gameplay feels significantly better. Even if you prefer playing in first person, I still recommend to give this mod a try. It really adds a lot of quality of life that was sorely needed. Next is a mod called Simply Balanced. Not necessarily an essential mod, but it offers a great resource to balance Skyrim the way you like it. At its core, the mod adds an in-game mod menu where you can easily adjust a whole raft of settings ranging from melee combat to magic and stealth. I often use it to test out new spell mods where I can simply reduce the cost of each spell to 0% and go crazy. I recommend everyone to install this mod, as you never know when it might come in handy, or if something about Skyrim is annoying you, you can simply adjust it to your liking. And lastly is a mod that I would have to say is my favorite mod of all time, called Experience. This mod changes how you level up and gain experience in Skyrim. Originally, your character would gain experience by leveling up skills such as archery or lockpicking, and in turn this would increase your overall character level. But now with this mod, you will level up by completing quests, discovering new places, killing your enemies, or clearing dungeons. Your skills will still increase as normal, but will no longer contribute to your overall character level. This new leveling system encourages you to actually play the game, to venture out into the world, finish your quest lines, discover new locations to explore, and by doing so, rewards you with experience. This system also helps restrict you from over-leveling your character, especially in the early game, when you may try to quickly level your smithing or enchanting, causing you to gain several new character levels, and as a result, the world around you. I also recommend getting the in-game mod menu add-on, where you can adjust how much experience is gained through each component to your liking. This is a great mod and one I highly recommend. And that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Cheers.